So it's on to round two for the Central Washington University men's basketball team in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference Tournament. Round two out of a three-round tournament. Before we take a look at what's going on with the Central Washington Seattle Pacific game, let's review with what's going on in the else is going on in the GNAC tournament. So as I said before, Western Washington, the number 1 seed, and Seattle Pacific, the number 2 seed, each of them got first round byes. The games, the other 4 teams were playing tonight. As you just found out, Central defeated Alaska Anchorage, again 79-78. If you missed that review, go ahead and you can either find it in probably the related videos if you're on YouTube, or you can just scan down Facebook and you can find the link to that review. So the other game is between Alaska Fairbanks, the Nanooks, and the Montana State University Billings Yellow Jackets. MSU Billings won the tournament last year, so they're the defending champs. And as of this time, now it is at 8:48 on March 7th Pacific time, with 10 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the second half, Alaska Fairbanks leads Montana State Billings 58-47. So this game is still being still in process as this is being filmed. The winner of the Alaska Fairbanks Montana State University Billings game is going to play Western Washington, the number 1 seed. Central, on the other hand, will play SPU. Now, what is a little disturbing about this is this. Last year in the GNAC tournament, Central played SPU in the first round, pulled the upset, went into the second round, and lost to Alaska Anchorage. This year, they got the 6th seed. They won by 1 point against Alaska Anchorage, and now they're going into a game against Seattle Pacific. See a pattern here? So that's a little scary. What also is incredibly scary is if the Wildcats are going to continue to play in this season and in this tournament, they're going to have to take down the number 3 team in Division II. As I mentioned before, Seattle Pacific and Western Washington have been nationally ranked throughout the entire year. SPU has now moved up to 3rd in the Division II national rankings. So, kind of scary. And the last time Central beat them, it was in the conference tournament last year. There was a little controversy at the end of the game. Central was down by 1 point, if my memory serves me. I can't remember how many points Central was down at the time that this happened, but I do remember Central got fouled supposedly, and it was a questionable call. And when this foul was called, the player was beyond the 3-point line, so all he needed to do was make 2 shots, and the Wildcats have the lead. And SPU had the ball 2 possessions within the last minute of the game, and they couldn't sink a shot, and therefore Central ended up moving on in the tournament. So I think that would definitely motivate anybody who was on that SPU team last year. There's a lot of returners from last year. So so that was the last time that Central beat them. Central played SPU twice in the conference. The first one was during the conference season. The first game was on January 19th in Ellensburg. SPU was ranked 6th at the time, and the Falcons won by a score of 80-71. SPU was led by Patrick Simon with 20 points, Andy Pauling with 14, Riley Stockton 12, Joby Wall 11 points. Joby Wall led the team in rebounds with 8, and Patrick Simon and Andy Pauling each had 6 rebounds. For the Wildcats, junior Mark McLaughlin led the team with 18 points, kind of like how he did tonight against Alaska Anchorage. Jordan Kobe, 12. Kevin Davis with 11. And Brandon McGee with 10. McGee also led the team in rebounds with 10. Finished with the nice little double-double. Central was only down by 2 points at halftime in that game, and then they just kind of lost it late in the second half, and that's when SBU was finally able to extend that lead and hold on to it. The next game when these two teams played was on February 14th, Valentine's Day. It was in Seattle at Royal Brome Pavilion. Again, one of the most hostile environments ever in all the GNAC. And this arguably could be considered Central's worst game. SBU came into this game this time ranked 5th in the nation. And they had their day with the Wildcats, winning by a score of 115-75. David Downs led the SBU Falcons with 21 points, Andy Pauling 13. Patrick Simon and Joby Wall added 11. Riley Stockton rounded out the scoring with 10 points, and Stockton also had 8 rebounds, and Joby Wall had 7. For Central, Mark McLaughlin led the team with 20 points, Jordan Kobe 17, Nate Walker with 10, and Kevin Davis led the team in rebounds with 6. So I would say going into this game, a key, do not fall down against the Falcons. Just don't do it. I mean, you're at the point in the tournament where if you play a sloppy half, you're pretty much, the chances of you coming back are incredibly slim. I know they did it against Alaska Anchorage, but you also got to remember that these games are taking place back to back to back to back, so fatigue could also play a role into it. Plus, SBU had a bye, so this will be SBU's first game of the tournament. Last but not least, don't depend on McLaughlin. I would say after watching him play this last game, scoring 32 points, got to spread the ball around a little bit more. You know, look for other scores. When Central just took down Alaska, when Central took down Alaska Anchorage a couple of games before this tournament and in the middle of the season, they were able to spread the ball around and they got more players in double figures, and so that will definitely help as well. So try not to depend. I know that kind of a fun fact. I don't know if I've said it yet, but McLaughlin was actually the GNAC Newcomer of the Year, which is great. That's an awesome accomplishment, but we can't depend on just one player. There's 5 guys in the court. So this game will take place at 5:15 tomorrow, Friday, March 8th. You know what? I'm not going to even say I'm going to or I'm not going to watch this game, because every single time that I say that online, I always end up watching it. So we'll see how it goes. I'll definitely make it a point to try and watch and recap the game as soon as possible. The winner of this game will go to the GNAC Championship and either face Alaska Fairbanks, MSU Billings, or Western Washington. And just for giggles, let's check the score right now between Fairbanks and Billings. Right now with 7:14 left to go in the second half. Alaska Fairbanks 67 and MSU Billings 54. And that is a score at 8:55 Pacific time here on PM. So there you go. There's the preview for between Central and SBU. It's going to be a tall order. Central also, just to wrap this up, they really have not had a lot of luck against SBU in the postseason. At least when I went to Central, SBU beat them in every single tournament game that we ever played. At the time, there wasn't the GNAC tournament, but we met several times in the Division II playoffs, and SBU always found a way to win. Even 2 years ago, when we were ranked number 1 in the region, and we were hosting the tournament in our own backyard, and SBU snuck up and beat us. So hopefully we can fare well like we did last year and play in a championship game. It'd be nice to play in the championship game, because if we do, the game would be on TV, and then I could just go to a bar and watch it. There you go. All right. Well, thanks very much for watching. Let's go Cats, and let's go take down those Falcons. Thanks for watching.